What's up, everybody? Welcome to My Done Life. This is a Writer's Corner. This is going to be a live podcast. I'm actually going to use this for my podcast. So if you would like to join the conversation, feel free to make sure to hit the link, come in on StreamYard, and we'll get you on. All right. Kind of wait a little bit here and try to. I had one guest that looks like he got disconnected. We'll see if he comes back. So anyway, so the 1st of March, the weather is finally starting to break a little bit. We finally hit some 7-degree weather yesterday. So I finally got to take the bike out for its first maiden voyage. Just doing a little sound check there. Anyway, actually went took the wife out with me, riding 2 up, and was rather enjoyable. Did find something out about a piece of my gear though. It looks like I'm gonna have to replace my gloves. I can't remember if I bought them last season or the year before, but I went to put them on, and one of the fingers got a big old, almost like the seam had ripped down one of the fingers. So I'll be probably doing a review on that particular piece of merchandise coming up on the channel probably sooner than later. Didn't moto vlog though. I did record just like a dash cam record, but I was I just wanted a chance to fill out the bike and hear the bike and things like that, and and obviously the wife was with me, so there you are. Dash.
You think so, huh? Well, I can't. Hang on. They went live. I'm sorry. Hang on. Let me kill this.
What's up, Road Glide Andy? Hopefully you're doing better. I know I've been watching you on Instagram, and you've definitely been a little banged up. I believe Mr. McStash, or McBeard, as we've jokingly called him here recently. I believe he's yakking with Mr. G.
I got nothing here. Hang on. Let me get some volume going here. Something. I don't know.
Gotta love the
We got this all together today, don't we?
Oh, we're professionals, don't you know?
Oh, because I got the wrong computer. That's what it is. New.
Yeah, brother Light Andy. Man, having surgery always sucks. Hopefully you'll be riding soon. I know some of your pictures, you've been editing some videos. Oh, there's Mr. G, 1965. There's a link if anybody decides to want to join in and chat.
I got no volume, dude.
We can hear you good. You're good and loud.
No sound. I don't know what's going on.
You're on the laptop.
Oh, wait a minute. Audio. Let's get audio. See what's chat.
Larry 68. Hey, what's up? All right. Might have to come down to your house and we'll just do it from your house, right? Is that what we're gonna have to do?
Shoot.
I have to cut this out.
To make it come out the right way. Right? Especially when there's tension. Because once the tension.
Yeah, I'm not sure, dude. I got no volume on this thing at all. Let me check if I get my other headphones.
Yeah.
I'll mute it for just a minute. Yeah, I'll tell you, I really hope I can make it to VAM this year. I really, really, really want to meet up with you guys. I know you guys had, even with the rain, you guys had a lot of fun last year. I was talking with Mr. McStash, and he was telling me about all the shenanigans y'all were doing. He's still struggling. Yeah, I feel you, Road Glide Andy, about being stir crazy, man. It's definitely one of those things where it's like, it seems like the longer these winters go, man, it just not being able to get out on the bike. And I know you've rode more in the winter than obviously I have. I gets much under 60 degrees and I don't really pull the bike out, but I can't do the heated gear. I can't do all the being bundled up. It just kind of ruins the experience for me. Can you hear us now?
Literally. So Jason knew what we did before we got him. Oh crap, we didn't do grocery store yesterday.
Can you hear us now?
So one thing that I normally do it while he's doing a funeral. He pretty much follows his funerals on Saturday. Almost every Saturday morning. So
If anybody watching the live stream of this the name on Mr. McStash's tag is Mr. McBeard.
I got audio now, but it's way quiet.
Really?
And then I showed up.
No, we still out there.
Of course, I'm not a fan of this computer anyways. My good computer's uploading a video.
Ah. What computer is that one? I don't think I know which one.
The one I'm on is it's an old Levino. I mean, it's got 16 gig of RAM in there, so I mean it works for simple videos. i3 processor. Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, so how much riding did you get to do yesterday?
Today I just went and done a funeral. Well, I took the long way home afterwards, but I don't know. I probably got
One of the other massive bikes.
I didn't get a quarter tank of gas out, so it wasn't wasn't much.
Yeah, I did about 50 miles yesterday. Just kind of filled the bike out, make sure everything was running good. And man, it felt good though to be back on two wheels.
Oh yeah.
I've been doing the typical storing away parts past couple of months, and I upgraded my Batwing windshield to a 9-inch from a 6-inch. And I really
Hey, we got Larry's in there and Mr. G's in there.
Yep, I can hear you typing on the keyboard.
The microphone works great. It's just I got no audio. That's weird.
But But yeah, so I put a windshield on it, a new upper windshield. I also put the side fairing pieces, wind deflectors, whatever you want to call it. Because I broke the ones that were on it, which is pretty bad. But and
I always get you something.
this week I should be taking possession of a set of very lightly used 12-inch Legend rear shocks. So
Now you said you had the side fairings on there. Are those the adjustable that'll open and
no,
put the wind back on
they're just permanently attached to the bottom corners of the batwing fairing.
That just blocks more wind then?
Just blocks more wind, yeah. Helps keep it kind of from swooping up from the bottom.
Yeah.
And obviously for moto vlogging, you don't want that.
Oh, hey, Road Glide Eddie's in there too. I didn't see. I need to look through here, see who all we got. Did you say hi to everybody? Like I said, I didn't hear nothing. So.
Yep. I was chatting a little bit to them in chat while you were fiddling with your headphones.
Larry 68 in there. I see him. He sent me some stickers. Well, I don't know when he sent them, but I got his stickers today.
Yeah, I saw you posted on the gram. By the way, for anybody who I got to get some of these sent out to some of the people I've already sent. But if you're looking for some stickers, I finally have some stickers. You can have ones with the white border, ones without the white border. So, hit me up on Instagram if you want to do a sticker swap or if you just want me to send you some.
I was going to say I don't have any, but I forgot I do have some.
Yep, you do have. You have for my first set. So
didn't mail me any. I'm just saying.
Well, honestly, it's easier for me just to drop them off at your house.
Right.
You know, we were chatting earlier about the whole non-ethanol fuel.
Yeah.
And you know, some people don't know exactly what that is, but for anybody who doesn't know, you know, most of your average gasoline has 10% ethanol in it. And ethanol is good for the environment. It's crappy for your engine. It's why on a lot of older cars, like, you know, it'll eat through certain types of rubber and things like that, and really kind of wreaked havoc on, you know, especially from the cars from the 80s and earlier. But in places you can get non-ethanol fuel, and it's usually technically sometimes it can be called marine fuel or whatever, because you're not supposed to use ethanol fuel on boats and things like that. So most of the gas stations are leaving my brain right at the moment.
Sheets.
Yes, thank you. Sheets. Most of the sheets offer it, but it's only available on the outer pumps and red handle. It's 90 octane, non-ethanol, so plenty good to run in the bike. Obviously, if you store your bike, it's better than an ethanol fuel, just because it won't. Because the thing about ethanol is it will absorb moisture, and you obviously don't want that in your fuel system. So, yeah, Mr. G, that's I think Mr. McStash's TV in the background.
No, it's the wife actually has somebody in town, and they're down at the table talking.
It sounds like somebody's watching like like a sitcom in the back.
Yeah, it's like I said, that's the wife and her best friend that's in town.
Hanging the ceiling fan.
He got Roguelite Andy got surgery on his elbows, and he's pretty much out of commission. I think even for riding a bike. But I did see on Instagram where he took a ride to Home Depot, Menards. That's what it was, because it was Saturday. It was Mr. McStash shirt day. and he took a ride to Menards and was getting. I told him pick me up something nice, and he said he picked up a ceiling fan. So
Yeah, actually, I've got a security light I need to put up eventually. I've had it for 3 months.
Huh?
But yeah, I've been like I said, just been trying to work on the bike, and obviously, like I said, it was, man, yesterday was so nice. Today actually wasn't half bad. We did get a few sprinkles, but it didn't really rain like they were calling for.
I didn't see any rain today. I know it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and I got to work, so woohoo, we're gonna be wet.
Yeah, like I said, it was. We had a few sprinkles. I was out running a little bit today, doing some things, but yeah, that was. Otherwise, it wasn't that bad today either. But we're just, trying to take advantage of that weather while we can. There's a lot of bikes out on, even today. But there was obviously a lot out yesterday, and I was out kind of in the boony, back roads, and I was passing bikes at least every couple of miles. Now, have you gotten Ultra Classy back from the shop yet? I know you said they were.
No, I got a message Friday, I believe it was, that he got the cases back. Let me look here real quick. I know that's what everybody wants to see is me thumbing through my phone, right? No, I believe it was last Friday he got the cases back. And he had originally told me when he got the cases back, because it had the Timken put in there, it would only take him about a week to get the engine put back together. But I told him also to dyno it and have it all tuned up and sounding like an old panhead when I on the idle when I get it back, and we'll see.
Yeah. And unfortunately, he had a bit of a incident last summer, which involved you buying another motorcycle.
Yeah, it was a very expensive motorcycle trip.
Yeah, I when you messaged me about that, and I was like, oh man, that sucks, because you just had a bunch of work done to the bike, and it was kind of that, like, what happened was just outside the area that the mechanic was sort of working on, and unfortunately it tore everything up.
I had the top half of the engine redone, and the primary chain broke, which all involves the bottom half of the engine. So, yeah, my Ultra Classy, when she comes out of the shop, will now have a Timken bearing. They stopped in 98 or 2000, I believe. They stopped using Timken bearings, but mine will now have the Timken bearing in it. It will not have the cam adjusters that are plastic. It has gear driven cam adjusters, so those will not need to be touched. It will have a brand new primary chain. It will have a brand new drive belt. The only thing in there that will not be either high performance or brand new is in the transmission and clutch. And I can't promise it'll stay that way much longer. But I'm thinking, Ultra Classy will have a new life and be quite a piece when we get her out.
Yeah, I mean, you were already pretty deep in the top end motor, having a lot of that piece of it work done, and yeah, like I said, when you told me about that, I was like, oh, that just sucks, man, because obviously being on a trip made that 10 times worse, because you're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
And, well, no, we wasn't in the middle of nowhere. We were. It was our Memorial Day weekend trip. So it was Memorial Day weekend when we broke down, being the problem. And we was at Lake of the Ozarks, Harley Davidson, keyword being Memorial and Lake. So that was the problem. No place to stay.
But in the end, you ended up with a pretty nice new air bike.
Yeah.
which I can't blame you for picking that one. It was not only is it, obviously it's Harley black because what else would Mr. Mustache ride?
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's black the way God meant Harleys to be.
You can have any color you want as long as it's black. And but it had some decent parts already on the bike, and
Yeah.
I think you said it had some nice bars on it.
Yeah. Yeah. It has 12-inch apes on it, and just slip-ons, but that's all there is that's all that's been done to it is cosmetic stuff. So it came with a 5-year warranty, so I don't even change the oil on that thing. My hands are not touching anything on there. I'm letting them do it all. And yes, Andy, it has a brand new crank, brand new flywheel. All that is brand new because the run out that was how they knew the problem, because they tested the run out, and yeah, it was way out. That's why I went ahead and redone the bottom half to put the Timken bearing in with new flywheel and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it didn't have that many miles on it either, right?
What, the ultra
new
classy or the build?
The new bike.
Oh no. The new bike, when I got it, only had like 20,000 on or something. But yeah, it's way past that now.
Yeah, your bikes don't sit.
No. I don't do bike night, and they don't sit.
Oh, that's not true. We did do one bike.
Well, no, I shouldn't say it. I did a couple of bike nights last year, but that's not. I mean,
That's not your weekly thing.
it back 07 and prior, I was and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that group of guys, but I was big in it then, to where you call up your buddies and say, hey, it's a beautiful day, let's get the bikes out, and then you go from bar and have a beer and go to another bar or hang out for a little while or whatever, then go to another bar, and I mean, you kind of get the bike out because it's nice weather, and then you go stay inside. But whatever. I did it, so I can't knock it too bad.
Yeah, I've always had the one drink and that's it. If I'll have one drink if I'm out, and that's where I stop. But yeah, I've never been a bar hopper. Honestly, bars are too damn expensive.
Well, between the gas and the beer drinks now, yeah, you can't afford that anymore.
It's like, well, and I don't drink beer, so for me it's always whiskey or something else, and that's a $12 drink for a Jack Daniels just about anywhere these days. And but yeah, it just, yeah, like I said, never been my thing. I mean, I'll go every once in a while if somebody invites, but yeah, I don't do the bar hop thing. Never have been. Just never been that guy. I like to ride, but it doesn't mean we won't stop somewhere nice and.
Oh yeah, no, I agree, and that's what I mean when I say I'm not the bike night. It's not that there's anything wrong with bike night, but especially if I take Mrs. McStash out on the bike, she don't want to be sitting around. She wants to be riding. So, I mean, and I agree. There's no, if you're going to have the bike out, why sit?
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. And I was surprised. Ever since I bought the Dyna, my wife has been wanting to ride more and more. Like I never, like, I figured she'd ride once in a while, but I never thought she'd like go out of her way to want to ride. Like, I can hear the little one in the background.
Yeah, we got the grandbaby, and she went riding yesterday, and so she's all fired up and excited.
You can tell her she's famous now. She's on YouTube.
Well, she's already got her own channel, and and Instagram and all that.
But yeah, like I said, I never imagined my wife would be big on riding, and even yesterday, I figured she's been working so like stupid number of hours, and she's doing a bunch of cleanup for stuff at work, and she's so tired. Like, literally, she's going in at 6 in the morning and not getting home until 10 at night. I mean, that kind of crazy.
Wow.
So I really didn't figure she'd go, but she was like, nope, I want to ride, so let's go. I was like, okay.
Dang, somebody's got to pay for all them parts, right?
Well, I mean, something. We're all salary, so it doesn't matter how many hours we
Oh,
work.
okay.
I know it sucks. There are times where I love being salary, and there are times where
Mhm.
I wish my wife was the one working the hourly job.
Oh, it's like motorcycles. There's times when I love riding motorcycles, and there's times when I hate spending money on motorcycles.
Yeah. My wife finds out exactly what I've spent here recently. She's probably gonna be mad. But I'm pretty well think I'm done for this season unless something pops up.
Yeah.
But I'm not actively going after anything at this point.
Oh, okay. Okay. Something catches your fancy, then that's something else, right?
That right. That's something else. But if pops up out of nowhere, big bore kid.
Right.
uh, I'm not even. I'm not sure. I would like to have more power, a little more power, but in the same boat, like I don't honestly want to tear into that motor.
It's a two-edged sword. I mean, you have to get in there to do the cam tensioners, but I mean, it's designed the way it's designed. I mean, short of cutting your arms and putting adjustable push rods in there, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought of it too.
I mean, we done Mama's trike. It was time to do the cam tensioners, and I'm like, oh well, while you're in there, let's go ahead and put a little bit bigger cam in there, and it turned out to be fine. But ultra classy, we went a little bit bigger on the cam and a little bit bigger on some of the other stuff, and it turned out to be bad. So,
well, I also run into the thought too. I mean, I only have I got 200 miles on that bike. I mean, I bought it with stupid low miles on it.
yeah.
I really wish if the paint matched the miles. That's the only thing that drives me bonkers. Is I bought it knowing it had paint damage, but it's got anybody hasn't seen the bike. I've got an 06 Dyna Low Rider. It's got a numbered custom Harley Davidson paint set on it. Problem is, one of the previous owners, not the one I bought it from, but the one previous, supposedly the story was one of his grandkids got on the bike, tipped it over, and damaged the fender and the tank a little bit. It's not like unusable, but it's kind of annoying if you're a perfectionist. Tony Cox would never. Tony would have sold it and traded it in before. But yeah, I tell you, I feel for all these guys though. They're going out and buying brand new bikes. It's been kind of nuts here on YouTube. It's like I feel like I bought the Dyna too late. Okay, I should have bought a Street Glide.
Oh yeah, you think so?
Well, I mean, obviously you bought a 2015. Dad and Mad, they just bought a new one. Military Biker, he just bought a new one. I'm like, man, everybody's moving up to the big geezer glides,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, everybody bought one. Mr. G's gonna buy one next. Mr. G's a little bit closer to us, to where, and actually, I think Andy's that way too. I ain't got a payment. I don't really want a payment, and mine's not broke. So,
well, and and that's the other piece of where I'm at with that Dyna too. It's like I paid cash for it, so I own it outright. I don't have any payments on it, so whatever happens, whatever. But I was talking with my half brother because he had bought a Victory, something 90, like V90 or something. I can't remember the exact model number, but obviously it's before Victory went under, and he's been working on it and trying to get it put back together. And he had some weird electrical issues, and him and I were back and forth about what it could be. And it ended up apparently for whatever reason, Victory used like old school EEPROM computer chips that you can manually pull out and reprogram, and apparently his was bad. So a couple $100 for a custom tuned one, and he's got some other stuff he's working on. But he was talking. He was like, I wish I had the money at the time to buy my Sportster. And I'm like, dude, you wouldn't want that Sportster. Don't get me wrong. I loved that Sportster. It was fun to ride. It was quick. It wasn't fast. It handled great. Did everything a Sportster's supposed to do. But the problem was it was an old, hard mounted engine Sportster. It's like that thing beat me to death. My hands were numb. About an hour's worth of ride was typically all I really wanted to do on that thing. And I really just, I sold it to a young kid. I sold it to Nash, who I went to the Blue Ridge Parkway with, and he's just riding the wheels off that thing, man. He rides it to work all the time. He rides it every chance he can get on that bike, and he's just loving it. And honestly, I told him, I said I had about $5,000 if you take in the purchase price, everything I ever put on it, and all that. I had maybe $5,000 into that, and I sold it for $3,000. So I think $2,000 for 7 years. That's why I can't justify buying a brand new bike. That's for me. I can't seem to push myself into buying a brand new bike. Yeah, Road Glide Indy is a street glide too, right?
Yes. Yeah, he's a batwing guy, or I mean a shark nose guy.
Oh, he's got a road glide then. Okay, I thought he had street glide.
No, road glide. Glide.
I mean, that debate has always been so hilarious to me. Like, I kind of like and dislike both of them. You know what I mean? It's like, in a certain way, I kind of like the shark nose, but in the same way, I don't like the fact that it doesn't, turn with the, with your steering, and really, never. I always just chuckle at that debate whenever people have it about, liking one or the other.
Street glide is a Me Too bike. Yeah, I don't know that I'd be bragging about that, but whatever. if you, I guess you can either ride a street glide or a Sportster, whatever. No, actually, he said he hates the fairing. That's my thing. I was on the Honda Goldwing, which is a fixed fairing bike. Now, granted, mine was an 85, so the headlights were not, the LEDs they have now, the big bright stuff. But I did not like not following, my turns when I done them. Of course, we're a big trip guy, so you're in DC in the middle of the night looking for a hotel. I want that headlight to turn with my fairing. It's kind of my thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's funny. You and I talked right after I did the Blue Ridge Parkway, and you were asking about the Goldwing that Nash rode, and that Goldwing is that particular Goldwing. Unfortunately, I should have kind of did some close up shots of that Goldwing. It's got some beautiful like all the chrome has got engraving on it. Like there's not an ounce of chrome on that bike that doesn't have engraving on it. It's got some custom airbrushing on the bags and stuff, and then apparently it originally had a matching trailer. It's got a trailer hitch on it, and unfortunately his grandpa, who actually owns the bike, the guy he bought it from had already sold the trailer, and I mean, it's really, for what it is, it's a gorgeous bike, and he paid $800 for it. I'm like, man, if I had known that, I probably would have bought it just because, and I really, I commend how well Nash handled that bike. Literally, he made me put 100 miles on that bike before we did that trip, and he really handled that bike well. I mean, we had it loaded. I mean, we threw all our shit in his saddlebags because obviously, you know, he's got giant saddlebag in the trunk, and yeah, like I said, he handled that bike real well. I was like I said, I was highly surprised how well that trip turned out, and I would do that again in a heartbeat. I love the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's so the roads are so beautiful out there.
What year was his?
85 or 86. I can't remember the exact year. It's one of the two.
It's yeah, it was 1200, dude. That's what I had was a 1200. I'm telling you what, they handle like a now they're long, but I had no problem. I took that thing. Well, mine was dark side, and I went down to the Tail of the Dragon. I had no problem keeping up with anybody but the leaner bikes.
You know, interesting enough, I rode it a little bit, and that bike, it's a big bike, but it doesn't feel like a big bike when you're moving. Like
No.
even to hold it up doesn't seem that big. I mean, I'll be honest, my dyno feels heavier than that Goldwing.
And to be honest, my Goldwing outweighs Ultra Classy, but I will pick that Goldwing up 5 times to picking up Ultra Classy if you drop it.
Yeah,
it's the way the balance is and the weight and the fuel tank down low, and there's no top heavy to that bike at all.
Honestly, for me, the biggest complaint I had about that bike was foot pegs and the floorboards and whatnot. Like, I feel like I had to be, you know, Marlboro Man, bow-legged, and I'm just not that guy. So my leg was always crammed up against those floorboards every time I had to put my feet down, and I just didn't enjoy that at all.
Now, and I know that goes with a lot of people, different things. They like different, you know, feelings and stuff. I like a big bike. I like a heavy bike. I mean, the bigger the better. You know, if there was a 1,000-pound bike out there that wasn't a boss hoss that, you know, I'd get pinned underneath, I'd snag it in a heartbeat. I love a big bike.
I could see you riding a boss hoss, but I also see you hurting yourself on a boss hoss.
Oh, I would ride one. Yeah, but no, that's the problem. If that throttle's there, I will use it. That's why I don't have a leader bike.
Yeah, there's another guy I met up with, and actually it's funny, his last name's also Dunn, and he's probably older than you are, and he's riding a really tricked out leader bike. I mean, and it's all green, and it's got Melvin the Martian theme on it. Like
Double Trouble.
Double Trouble, that's it. Yeah, and I've seen that bike up close. It's really trick. I mean, but at the same time, I'm looking at this dude. I'm like, there's no way. I couldn't lean like that. I can't do that now, much less at his age.
My problem with that kind of bike is I'm not adult enough for it. You know, I mean, it'd be one thing if I had a bike like that and rode with a bunch of cruisers, but you tend to get with other guys that are on that kind of bike. And if you can do it, I can do it for sure. You know, I can do it better. Watch this.
Falls the hold my beer category.
Exactly. And I need no alcoholic motivation. I can do it. I will do it just because.
Yeah, you know, growing up, I was into fast cars, you know, at least fast for me, but I never had much internet for fast bike, and I even told my wife when I initially got into the conversation about wanting a motorcycle. It's like, I don't want a fast bike. I got no interest in going 150 miles an hour on the street. You know, I want to enjoy the scenery.
Well, exactly, Andy. I'm not adult enough for what I got. I can. Let's just put it this way. Mama's trike will raise the front wheel. I know that for a fact.
Yes, Mr. Chopper Fett, your bikes are getting smaller, but they're also getting faster.
Yeah.
I knew he teased me that bike privately before he announced it, and I'm like, dude, that's a badass bike.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and you know, and I've met Chopper Fett, and I will say it from, some people have always used the moniker that, oh, the camera makes you look like you're 10 pounds heavier. He hides his size really well. Um, and I don't mean necessarily as in like fat kind, but I'm just saying, I mean, he's like this much taller than me, and you've met me, I'm an average height guy, and he's like I'm looking at I'm looking at Chopper Fett's chest when I'm standing next to him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's a tall guy.
And until he got this last bike, you couldn't tell.
Yeah, yeah. I even when he was riding like the Sportster or the what was the bike he just got rid of?
The V Rod. He did not look big on the V Rod at all.
Yeah, he didn't look big on it at all.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, it's like I said, for some reason he manages to hide his size well.
Which makes me wonder. I watched one of his videos today. His dad, What's Up, Bob, appears to be a little. Looks like I'm on a Grom. Yeah, you do.
I was laughing about.
I wasn't going to say it, but is What's Up, Bob short? He tends to look short on video, but is he a gorilla biker too? We just don't know it. Just can't tell.
Yeah, I didn't get to meet his dad when I went out to Kansas City to get that Batwing fairing. But yeah, it's hilarious. Like I said, when I first met him, I'm looking up at him. I'm kind of like, and everybody has kind of the opposite effect with, if they meet Blockhead. Most people are like, Blockhead's like here to me, and so he's short. I mean, he's really a short guy. Like, I'm surprised some of the stuff he rides, as far as being able to touch the ground. About 3 inches shorter than me. That's still not much there, Chopper Fett. 3 inches.
It's. I mean, that's pretty much close to normal size then.
So he's normal. I'm gonna say I'm 5'10", and I'm pretty sure Chopper Fett's like 6'3" or something, like 6'3" or 6'4". Like
now, Shade Tree Surgeon's one that is not as big as he looks.
Yeah, I've met him. I met him a few years back, and he's my height, so he's like average. Like, but yeah, he's not a real big guy, and but yeah, like I said, it's so weird.
Doyle, the blue bike in Doyle. He went looking for that new bike. Said he's going to try out a Goldwing. No, that's not a guy to be on a Goldwing.
He's a short guy, huh? Must be my boots. Man, I don't know. Maybe it's all those helmets you got stacked up on your shelf there, Chopper Fett.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I've openly joked with him. He has a problem when it comes to helmets. Like he's got a ridiculous collection of helmets. It's kind of gotten.
Yeah. Some people drink. Some people do drugs. Chopper Fett does helmets. I mean, look at the money he spent to go to Vegas and hang out with the helmet masters.
Yeah, it was so surprising how people, with the Rural Rock thing, and everybody was, obviously for good reason, they were talking shit about some of the earlier products, and I've sold some. He sold one. Don't let him fool you.
So he's a dealer too.
But yeah, I mean, everybody's talking pretty good about this latest edition of the Rural Rock helmet. I just think they're too expensive. Like, they're kind of a showpiece more than anything for me. But I've never bought a showy helmet either. So,
well, we're kind of spoiled too. We have Iron Pony, that's within driving distance, And I'm telling you guys, this Iron Pony, unless you've been there, you don't understand. But I have went there and spent $20 on a helmet before. And I've never done it. Of course, I'm not chopper fat, but I have also seen $600 helmets in that place. But I mean, that's, I think we're kind of spoiled by that.
And we are, no doubt in my mind that we are. I mean, you go into that place and they've got at least 300 different helmets. I mean, I'd be surprised if it's not higher than that. And you can go in, you can try every single size that they have. It's all out in the open. There's nothing that if you can't find it there, you're not going to find it. I mean, they have everything from your Shoeies and all that kind of stuff, all the way down to some of your no-name brands. I've been running Vox helmets, VOX. Me and the wife both have a set of Condors, and they're modular. And I want to say I paid $70-ish a piece. Like, it's really not bad for a helmet.
Yeah, there you go. Andy got an HJC for under $200. I bought one called Black Brand for the motorcycle escort because it was 3/4 white helmet. And that's what I wanted.
Yeah, it's funny. You're kind of interesting, and you and Paul from the Harley Roadshow kind of cracked me up because you both are so opposite from the moto vlogging scene, because neither one of you run a full face helmet. And now you do have a microphone up close to your mouth, but which is funny because Paul, every time, like, you if you've never met Paul is a loud guy. Like he screams at his GoPro going down the road. That's how he does his moto vlogs. And I crack up because you can understand him. That's the weird part.
I have done moto vlogs without the microphone. With straight, if I use the GoPro on my handlebars, I can moto vlog up to about 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, like I said, I crack up though when I every time I think about that, because like I said, all the rest of us obviously all use full face helmets. We're trying to block as much of the air as possible. And like I said, it's just interesting how you guys can get away with it. But you guys, both of you have commanding voices. If there's one thing I will say about you, like, your voice is very distinct and it is very strong. Like, not necessarily saying loud, but strong.
Yeah.
And I think that helps with the way you motovlog as far as that. And you found a way to not only motovlog, but the way you split your audio, you can do the full, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people chat, which one of these days you and I are going to actually have to do a motovlog. Every time we get together, neither one of us end up with
a successful motovlog.
Yeah, a successful motovlog. Well, and sometime when you and I ride together, you got to not try to get dive bombed by a bird.
Right. Get attacked by something.
It was funny because I was thinking about you on Saturday, because I don't know what it was, but the hawks were out everywhere. Like, we went, I forget exactly where we was, but there was probably 20 hawks just flying around. But everywhere we was looking, there was one. And I'm thinking, man, I really hope Mr. McStash is not riding today. And for anybody who doesn't know reference, and we've got it on video, like, every time him and I ride together, a bird dive bombs right like inches in front of his bike.
Although, where's it? I don't have it. I haven't put it on my phone or anything yet. We was riding yesterday, and I was up front and the wife was behind me, and there was a plastic bottle in the road, and I went to kick it out of her way. It launched it up in the air, right about hit her. I caught crap for that. Yeah.
I was going to say, I bet there was some Phil Farm thrown your direction.
Yeah. I had to 360 out today, pulling a What's Up Bob, where you can get the whole view there.
Mm.
And I was riding along, and something caught my eye out of the right. I looked over there, and a bald eagle come up out of the farm field and flew off. And I'm thinking, oh, this is awesome. I just got the perfect shot because the sun's setting down behind there and the eagle's up. Yeah. Nah, you can't see the eagle, but this tiny little thing. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's that seems everybody always says that the craziest things happen when you're not recording.
I thought I had it. I thought I'm going viral. This is it. I've hit the big time, but it didn't work.
If you had, you would have, you and I had to work together. We put some like, eagle music or eagle sounds in
Right.
Put a little waving flag in the background or something. Yeah. But so have you officially made the switch from PowerDirector?
From PowerDirector?
Yeah. Are you using Hit Film now for
No,
your
I'm not. I got a chance to get the PowerDirector, and I went ahead and purchased it. It's just I know it so well, and I breezed through so fast with it, and I stuck with it.
I was surprised you picked up Hit Film pretty easily, considering that it is pretty advanced. I mean, you can do some crazy stuff with it.
Well, and I still have it on the computer, and I plan to use it more when I have time. Right now, I'm not. What do they call it? I'm not stacked, or I don't have anything, ahead.
Right.
Because of some of the, some of the stuff going on in my life and some of the things going. Excuse me, I got a buddy dying that I'm spending a lot of time at his house and stuff like that. But I am going to look into it some more. Hang on a second. Let me turn this green screen off. Virtual background. All right. Let's see if I can get you this picture. All right. Right in my elbow, right here is that eagle. See how tiny that? It's just not gonna.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this is awesome. Oh,
the
this
camera
is awesome.
had been on the other side of the bars. You might have.
Yeah, it would have been perfect, but it just didn't work. So whatever. I thought I was going viral. I was all excited.
Now you've dived deep into the whole 360. What's your opinion on the 360s? Oh my God, I don't know what the heck that is.
Oh, somebody joined in. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your comments. Now go away. We don't have a monitor, do we? Wait, here we go.
That's funny. I always say you haven't made it until you get spammed by.
Right. I don't know how to do. Oh wait, no, you got the controls, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't
do anything with him or not.
That's funny.
Yeah, Andy had one too. He said in the sky, but it didn't turn out. Yeah, I just, of course, you see so much better with your eyes than with a GoPro. But as far as the 360, it's like any of the other GoPros or any other cameras. There's to get that trick, to get it to the right spot you want, to get the right view you want. It's a fight. It does have its advantages. I've ridden with it, just riding with it. I got the eagle shot that way, just riding with it, playing, so I practice. But my thing is, I've had too many times where I'm going down the road riding, and I'll see, Bluefield, West Virginia. You got that beautiful lookout, and I'm not stopping. I'm just driving by, and I'm sitting here riding like this, so I can get my camera to focus on that. Well, with the 360, I don't have that problem.
Right.
I can move my view to that spot. I like it. Like I said, it's like everything else. There's a learning curve on mounting, on the software and all that stuff. The only thing is, if you got it mounted and it's doing this, it don't matter. That's the only advantage I've seen of it. It can hurt if you go to extreme, but it's the steady is unbelievable.
Yeah,
I mean, as far as I've been with steady is an 8 on the GoPro, but the 360 is just off the chart.
yeah, I may have recently made a purchase of certain 360 that I'm going to get yelled at if my wife finds out.
That is the only thing. I got the R, and I would have rather got the the 1 or the X2 or whatever, the smaller one.
I did get the X2. I did order it, and but it was like, because right now, in fact, for any of my motovlogger friends out there, right now, I don't know if it's everywhere, but Best Buy's got $42 off its normal price. I had some points saved up, so I saved another $140 off on top of that. But yeah, the thing is though, GoPro, I have such a love-hate relationship with these things. Like, I would love to work with GoPro and make a better product. Like, if I could have like a special job that I could say I did something crazy, like this would be it. I wish they would make a moto vlogger friendly version of this. We need to be able to plug it in. We need to be able to run it long term. We need to. Oh yeah, Andy can join in. So one of my GoPros, I've broken the USB cord plug-in.
Did it break?
It's broke. It won't charge. So yeah, so that's gonna restrict a little bit when I'm doing my motovlog stuff. I mean, I still have one good one that I can, use, for long video recording, but I'm going to be restricted on this one to what I can actually record. You had pretty good luck using the remote, recording 4 GoPros now?
Yeah, well, I'm down to 3 now, but yes, I've had the one coming out Tuesday. I turned my 3 cameras on, and my remote said 3 cameras. I hit record, it recorded. I hit stop, and it stopped. So,
yeah, I thought about getting that, but in the same boat, I'm kind of like, man, do I plan on getting any more GoPros? Like, I only have 2, and they're both pretty much now on my handlebars. I've pretty well taken off the helmet camera now, and mostly because the weight, it pushes too much right here on my helmet. And while I totally get why people do it, in the same boat, like I totally understand why people don't do it. As far, I had the battery bank and then the GoPro and all that stuff, attached to the helmet, and it, like I said, it just adds a ton of weight. After about 30-45 minutes of riding, I want to take that stuff off. So having it on the handlebars, having one pointed out, one pointed in, kind of does what I needed to do as far as, the standard view GoPro stuff, as far as motovlogging.
Well, if that works, then you can get away with everything and just use your 360.
Well, and that was kind of my sort of justification for the 360, because now I can put that, pretty much in the middle and let that record as much as whatever it picks up. And I'd still love to get a drone, but that'll be sometime down the road before I ever get a drone.
You got a couple of GoPros you don't need anymore, and I have a drone. We may have to talk.
But yeah, well, the thing is, like, I was messaging you, and I was talking about how, Harley Roadshow, his last couple of videos, man, the editing has been so great as far as like, transitioning between his panning shots and his vlogger shot, and then doing the all the drone footage and stuff, and just the way he's editing that, and I'm kind of jealous, as far as being able to do that. I can't see, like I have like I understand how all that works, but I can't seem to make it work. Like I just don't understand why I can't do it. Road Glide Andy doesn't use GoPro. Is he doing everything on his phone?
No. He uses GoPro. Or no, I think he has Drift.
Oh, okay. See, I, I didn't have a very good experience with them. So the Rider Guider, which is a guy out of England, I think, and I watched his content, and he did a contest, and I won it, so he shipped it to me,
Yeah.
and I was kind of excited because this was right before the Blue Ridge Parkway. Send a 10C Eagle. Not a bad idea. I wish the camera was a little bit better on those, but I actually kind of want to do a video talking about that. But anyway, he sent me that drift, and I got it all set up, and I actually put it on Nash's helmet because I figured, give me an extra view while we're on the trip. And that thing didn't end up lasting a day, and it got wet once, and it was done. And I didn't realize that I thought, I didn't figure you could dunk it in water, but I figured, basic rain should be fine. And come to find out, no, you have to get the plastic waterproof cover for it.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, it didn't, like I said, it didn't even last one whole trip. So I didn't get any usable footage out of that one at all.
Now I've thought about looking into like a Senna, or looking into the DJIs are supposed to be incredible.
Can't hardly. They discontinued them.
The one of the Canadian guys has a Garmin that he loves, but I can't find any of them on Craigslist, or can't find any of them on these selling walls. I have yet to buy. Well, I take it back. My 360 was new, but I bought it off a selling wall. So I mean, I ain't paid full price for any of my stuff, and I really don't see a reason to. My stuff's working. So.
You got lucky in that category, and I'm kind of jealous.
Oh, I do. Yes, it was one of them perfect scenarios where he wanted something I had that I had no use for, and he had something I wanted that he had no use for, so it worked out perfect.
Yeah, I haven't bought them as a new model. I always bought like last year's model. That's how I originally ended up with the 7. Then almost immediately the 8 come out, and I was like, it wasn't that much. Like at that time they were running a deal, and so I ended up returning it and getting an 8. And then when I bought the second 8, they were $100 and some off from its original price. So I haven't never paid what I'd call full new retail price, but
you got as much off as I paid for mine.
Yeah, you suck. But yeah, like I said, these things, I've tried to do them. Like the media mod idea is great for a moto vlogger. It's not waterproof, and it sucks because that, and for some reason, like even the ones that I got after the one I got wet, I still had problems with them failing. Like the quality just wasn't there. And after the third one, I was just like, screw this, I'm not buying it. But I will admit, it was super convenient just to pull up a damn microphone into the GoPro and be done with it. Like everything was synced. I didn't have to go any of that craziness that I have to do now with my Zoom recorder. Don't get me wrong, my Zoom recorder is great audio. Like I can do some really nice stuff with the audio because of the quality, and because I can put a limiter on it, and I put a low pass filter so you don't hear so much rumble of the exhaust. Because my bike's not quiet, not by any means. But yeah, like I said, there was a lot of great stuff with the Zoom. It sucks trying to sync up the audio.
Oh, and the video I did, my popping is back. So I don't know.
I'm gonna have to sit down, maybe like redo all your wiring or something, come up with something super like sealed up, will heat shrink like all the connectors and stuff together, and just to, like I said, I think your problem is I think there's water or something, some corrosion or something that has gotten in one of your connectors.
Probably because my stuff, if it's wet outside, my stuff gets wet. So
You know, it's funny you talking about that pop. It's one of those weird, like it's so weird because it's almost random, but it's not. But it's one of those, like I said, it's so weird how that pop comes up in your audio, and it drives me bonkers. It's kind of like Andy drives me bonkers because he doesn't have the full version. He has that stupid.
he's in here. You realize? Now, I'm sure if you won't mind, but. He's in here. Speaking to the dirty dog. Mute your YouTube. Speaking to the dirty dog.
What's up?
Not much. How's life for you?
Yeah.
What's up?
Are you on there?
Yeah, it's echoey. Might have to go turn one off downstairs.
You gotta mute your YouTube.
You have another YouTube channel open, or another window with YouTube channel open?
She's doing
You
it.
have another YouTube channel open, or another window with YouTube channel.
Stop the feedback.
All right, guys, I'm gonna step to the side. I'll still be here. I'll type in and stuff, but I gotta step out for a bit.
No problem. I'm gonna go for about another half hour or so anyway. And then I have another early day as I start my
Hey,
day.
Mark.
Hey, Mark. But thank you for joining, Mr. McStash. I'm sure we'll be texting. We gotta get together and ride soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with that guy.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining, Mr. Mustache.
Is that better?
No, I still hear us from the YouTube.
With that guy.
Thank you for joining, Mr. Mustache.
Is that better?
No, I still hear us from the YouTube. With that guy. Thank you for joining, Mr. Mustache.
Yeah, it's getting a little squealy there.
And see if that'll work better. This is an old laptop.
Nope, he's gonna come back. All right, it's just me, myself, and I. Actually, been a pretty decent show, at least as far as everybody. I appreciate everybody coming in and seeing live. I'm gonna probably chop up the audio for this, but I'm gonna use this audio for my podcast. So if you're not subscribed to that, I'm on Google, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So some of these I'll do live, and some of these I'll just I'll do kind of like I've been doing, where I just kind of sit and ramble and talk to myself. I think it's what we all do as moto vloggers. We sit and ramble and talk to ourselves. But I will say that the moto vlogging community is probably one of the best communities as far as, most of us are we all help each other. We all talk to each other. So we're all kind of, in the group and being able to, meet some of these other guys. I've met Andy once, and obviously I don't live that far from Mr. McStash. So him and I have done a bunch of things together. Like I said, it's so weird. Him and I can't seem to do a moto vlog together, or at least a functional one. And all right. Thanks for stopping by, Mike. Or Mark. Sorry, Mark. Oh, I said Mike. I must be thinking about my cousin. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things where we're glad Andy's back. Let's see if
Oh shoot. Is that better?
that's better.
Okay, I got you on my phone.
That'll work.
Prop it up.
So what did you have surgery for?
I had a real bad case of tennis elbow. I've been fighting for 2 years.
Mm.
So
Obviously, I've been watching you on Instagram. Some of the pictures of you.
Yeah, just trying to do Instagram pictures and stuff, and I got a bunch of videos backstacked that I wasn't going to use because they were in the very beginning. And every time I got a little better with my video content and stuff, but I'm just going to use them because obviously I can't do anything right now.
Well, I mean, any type of practice, never
Yeah.
hurts.
Right.
At least you got time to sit and fiddle and play with, doing different edits and things like that.
Oh yeah.
I will say the one thing that drives me nuts is the PowerDirector icon in the corner of your videos.
You won't believe how many comments I get about that. That's because I use the free software version of it, and personally, it doesn't bother me. Like I said, I've said it in my videos numerous times. I don't do the YouTube thing for everybody else. I do it for me just as a hobby and something to relieve stress. You know what I mean?
That's
why
I do it.
I'm not trying to make money at it. I've spent, not counting the bike, which I didn't buy the bike for YouTube. You know what I mean? But all the stuff that I buy for the bike and do videos on, I don't buy it necessarily to do videos. I buy it because I want it, but it just adds content to the channel. But just for the computer to run editing software, the camera for the helmet and all that stuff, there's $1,000 plus upgrade my internet. There's $1,000.
Oh yeah. I've got here, I'll show you. I got so much wrapped up in this desktop.
Yeah.
I'm a big tech guy, so for me, like, I was already into gaming and stuff like that, and my son does live stream, so this piece of it was just something I was already doing, so it wasn't like it was specifically done for that. But yeah, I mean, by the time you buy cameras and get all the gear, it has a cool.
That's why I don't have a GoPro. I spent for the one that mounts on the helmet, I went with the the Sena 10C Evo, so I could still Bluetooth it to my phone and get phone calls and stuff like that. Plus, I have the WIM on the bike, so I keep the phone paired to the bike and I can see who's calling. In my position at work, sometimes if I'm out riding, I got to take a call. You know what I mean? And I might have to end up turn around and go to work. It happens.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have the Bluetooth communicator. It limits the stuff that you have mounted on your helmet. I see these guys that got all this stuff. And by the time you buy the GoPro and the mounts for the helmet and all that stuff, you could have bought the Sena and been done. And I think the Sena, they've come a long way. I think that 10C Evo puts out a pretty good quality.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad. For me though, I would be, a lot of people put them kind of a little far back. Like I would probably try to put it as far up forward as you can, just to kind of keep the helmet out of view. But other than that, yeah, I mean, the quality is definitely not that bad.
The helmet's going to be in view no matter what, because it goes on the side of the helmet. I've got that new helmet. Hold on, I got it right here. If I can pick it up. I'm not supposed to pick up anything over a pound. Don't tell my doctor.
Don't hurt yourself.
Let's see. Try to get this in there.
Okay, you've got it fairly forward.
Yeah.
I've seen some people that mount them way back. Like,
yeah, no, mine's as far forward as I can get it because I've got the modular. So, I mean, it's right there. So what you're seeing in the videos is actually the chin guard.
Right.
Because on my other modular helmet, I actually did some install videos to where I wanted to show people what I was looking at. And I slapped the helmet on and left the visor up, and you didn't see any of the helmet. So that worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I originally I got a couple of GoPro Hero Pluses, and I started out doing it more of a dash cam than I did doing it as a moto vlog, and it just turned into like, oh well, let me turn this into a moto vlog. It was kind of like everybody's doing it type of thing. So But I
Right.
had fun with it, and like I said, I'm already kind of a tech guy. I currently work sort of in an IT field for a transportation company, and like I said, you see my gaming machine. It's ridiculous. And
No, I work on semi trucks, and everything nowadays is so electronic in them. And I want to bounce the laptop that we have to use off the side of the truck.
well, that laptop's probably from 1998 too.
I'm not a tech guy by
Yeah,
no means.
I've always been a tech junkie. I mean, I just went out, and I haven't done this in a while, but this is the first, like, I bought the newest version, so I ended up getting an iPhone 13 Plus Max, whatever the hell they call it these days. And I actually normally up until a few years ago, I started out using Apple, then I kind of moved to Android for a while, but the post processing and stuff for the the Apple devices is so nice, especially when you're doing stuff like Instagram and all that. So that's kind of why I do the Apple stuff. And then I bought an iPad Mini last year. I actually bought that to do editing on the go.
Right.
So
I honestly can't even I don't know how to take my link from my video and put it on Instagram. Toby Northern showed me how to do it down at VAM, and I was like, yeah, that's easy. But now, no, I have no clue how to do it. So
yeah, it's all those weird things. And then, if you are trying to do anything in trying to build yourself if you want to do that, you're trying to deal with the algorithm, and I don't want that headache. I'm in it to have fun. And if I record something and it's decent, and I'll put it together and put it out. If it's not, it's not. I don't really care. Like, I'm more into meeting other people and riding and doing that kind of stuff. So
yeah, this is the new. I mean, years ago, many years ago, they had AOL that when it first fired up. So when AOL fired up, everybody was going in and doing chat rooms. This is the new chat room. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I remember back in the day, ICQ and AOL and all that stuff. And you're right. This is the new version of that, and where we all get together and chat, and truckers, channel 19 talking on CB.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, you don't get that anymore because technology has come so far.
Right.
So, and this is the new way of people meeting people. I mean, we met you out on Triple Nickel.
Yep.
So
yeah, that trip didn't go too well for me.
No.
What I ultimately found out was, and I didn't know it at the time, but I was having a real problem with my right leans. So I was scraping all over the place, like dangerously scraping. And I kind of felt bad for Mr. McStash because obviously I was following him, and he was being slow to be nice to me because he knew I was having trouble with his right hand turns. What I found out was, well, one, I had changed the setup on the suspension setup. I tried to put some air shocks that apparently weren't any good, and I had them pumped all the way to 50 pounds, and they were still bottoming out. So apparently they weren't any good. So I did end up putting, he can't turn. Thank you, Mr. Mercedes. So I did put the stock ones back on it, and that helped a bit. But I also found out somebody had, I'm assuming for aesthetics, had turned my exhaust so the slash was pointed towards the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like the flat out, and the bracket, it pulled the bracket further down. So I was losing like this much.
Right.
So I turned them back up. So they're now tucked up under the, above the exhaust where it's supposed to be. So hopefully, I'm still a little nervous with that right lane. I got to get the bike out in a parking lot and really try to find where that point is, because I haven't really learned where that should be. So that's an important thing I got to do before.
It's just warning sign. Plus, do you have floorboards or pegs?
I have pegs, forward controls.
Okay. Oh, you've got forward?
Yeah, I got forwards.
You ought to be good.
like I said, those I had no problems with those scraping. It was all the exhaust, and there was one turn, kind of a slow, like 10, 15 mile an hour turn we were making,
Uh-huh.
and literally I felt the bike do this, like it wanted to jerk to the right. That's how much I scraped the exhaust on that bracket. So
I know. I rode a Softail Heritage, and I was going too fast, but I didn't feel that I was laying the bike over that far, and I scraped. But when I hit it, brought me back up, and I just threw it back down.
Mm.
You know, but scraping's part of it. You're going to, look at the Blue Bike and Doyle. He put titanium under his, so it'll throw white sparks.
I don't watch his channel regularly, but I do try to catch some of his videos. But yeah, I hadn't seen that one. I'm gonna have to go find that one. That's pretty funny.
Oh, he's fun. Well, he just did a video today. They were up in the mountains at a cabin, and it shows them.
Okay, I'll have to catch that. I'll have to go find that video when I get done. Yeah, I realize that and I scrape pegs every once in a while with the Sporty, but like I said, I've never had exhaust scrape like this, and it was, for me, it was pretty scary. It didn't help too that this been like the time we went, like third time I'd been two up with the wife on a bike, so I really didn't have enough experience for what we were doing on the triple nickel.
That's where the bigger bikes honestly come into play. They do. They handle so much better, in my opinion.
I was looking at a Road King. I kind of wanted a Dyna for, just because I like the Dyna. And knowing what I know now, like my wife, she had rode a couple times with me. She didn't, like, I didn't expect her to want to do it all the time. So I bought the Dyna thinking, she'll ride with me a handful of times a season, no big deal. Now she's wanting to go all the time. And I'm like, man, I probably should have went with the Road King.
Yeah.
Now everybody's selling their Dynas and getting street glides.
Yeah, stay away from street glide. Everybody's got a black street glide. Yeah. Park your bike. You won't know what bike's yours when you park it.
That's why I will never buy a black one, a black bike, period. Because it was funny. I think it was Blacktop Devil. They were out Sturgis and they were looking around for their bike, trying to figure out where it was.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to see a black bike, so you can't find it.
Lucky my Dyna is definitely not black. Like I said, it's got flames and it's got skulls, and like I said, it's a numbered paint job, which, like I said, I love and hate that, because I'm kind of in that. I do want to fix it, but I don't want to fix it because obviously it's a numbered paint job, and like I said, I'm kind of in that dilemma. I just don't know what I want to end up doing. I probably what will end up happening is I'll find another 10 set, just buy the whole 10 set and change the color to something else, and then put those up as kind of a trophy or whatever.
You might be able to get the right guy to fix that.
Possibly, but it ain't going to be cheap, not by a long shot.
No, motorcycles, there's nothing cheap about them.
No, they're not. And there are ways to get into this hobby cheap, but in a lot of ways you pay for it kind of down the road if you're into it for very long.
Yeah, I haven't found a hobby yet that's cheap.
No, cars are expensive, cameras are expensive, computers are expensive, bikes are expensive. It really sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. The value of $1 is not there by any means.
It's amazing that I've had that thought here lately, and I'm like, man, I'm making more money now than I've ever made my entire life. Never thought I'd be making this kind of money between me and the wife, and but it does still seem like we're not quite, like, I feel like I need to reach that next tier of pay. But obviously fuel prices are expensive. I know food prices for us, like, we're spending $200 or $300 more per week than we used to.
Try feeding a family of 5.
I got 7 in my house.
Well, you know what it's like.
I know exactly what it's like. Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I have 2 kids. I have a mother-in-law, and I have my best friend who's on dialysis living with us. So
Yeah. I've got 3 kids and 2 dogs.
and I've got a dog and 2 cats. So I got 2 very fat cats, by the way, and they're the only ones fattened.
That's good thing about cats is they can fend for themselves.
That's true. Mine are.
I don't know if you live in the city or if you live in the country.
I live just outside the city, but I would be considered the suburbs.
Okay.
So I have fairly close neighbors, so
Yeah, I don't have any neighbors.
I miss that. I grew up out in the boondocks. Like my nearest neighbor was probably a football field away, at least.
Right.
So I'm also the Dyna age. I know I'm the Dyna bro age. I'm getting up there. I mean, I just turned 40. 10 more years, I'll be buying that geezer glide. You know, one of them.
I like my geezer glide.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just like I've talked a little bit about it, but I was a dispatcher for the company I'm working for now.
Go ahead,
And-
hold on.
Yep. Yeah, Mr. McSash, I'm technically in town. Like I said, I'm in the suburbs. But
Where did Dash go?
he's still chatting. He's still in the chat. He's just not. He's got family over or a family friend over. So, but yeah, very true. I'm too close. A lot closer than I wanted to be, but the wife picked the house. I didn't get the garage. I didn't. All I got was a shed. What was I talking about though?
The geezer glides.
There was a train of thought, and I lost that train of thought. What was I?
What'd I do?
I totally forgot what I was going to say. I hate
But
that. But
no,
yeah,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, I mean, I know eventually the company I work for. So the company I work for, we used to be the exclusive delivery agent for Harley Davidson motorcycles. So we used to get them from the plant, put them on a truck them to one of our many locations throughout the U.S., and we would deliver them to the dealers. And I was the night dispatch guy, so I handled all the over the road stuff. And I used to have big insight. Oh, what's up, anonymous biker? Wow. I'm moving up in the world. He's in the chat. But yeah, so I used to have kind of an inside track of like what was going on. I'd usually see all the bikes before they hit the dealers, and so I had to always be a little careful about what I said and did on the channel because obviously I was under NDA and all that stuff. And in fact, there's a piece of information I'm still setting on, but only because I can't. No one seemed to tell me whether or not our NDA was a long-term NDA or a short-term NDA. Like, because technically we're no longer in a contract with them, but the NDA that I signed didn't have a date on it. Didn't have like, this NDA is only good till the end of our contract with it. You know what I mean? And so I've been kind of setting on something that probably will get pretty big views if I ever do release it, but AB, he's always a jokester. One of these days, I'm going to finally see the man behind the mask. That's my goal for 2022 is to find him and finally meet him without the mask on.
But no, I started off on a little Yamaha V-Star 650, and then I moved up to a Boulevard, which was it was a mid-sized bike, and my buddy wanted to use it to go take his test on it, and I rode his bike around because he had a big Royal Star, and I rode his Royal Star for 2 years, saddlebags, windshield. heated grips, you know. And then when I got my bike back, I was like, nope, I'm done. I started shopping around right away. If you get online and look, I mean, shoot, I think I paid $5,000 for my first Harley.
Yeah, I paid $4 for the Sportster. That was my first official bike. But I mean, I've ridden a couple of different Sportsters. My stepdad owns the Honda Shadow 750. I've ridden it. I rode a Victory once. Rode an 85 Goldwing Interstate. Not a big illustrious, you know, hey, I've ridden everything type of situation, but and I grew up doing dirt bikes and 4-wheelers and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
So-
we were nuts on that stuff. Dirt bikes, 4-wheelers, go-karts.
Go-karts, 3-wheeler. My uncle had a 3-wheeler, and we used to rip through creeks and stuff in that thing.
Yeah. I think we had 12 people on a 3-wheeler once, and my cousin rolled it over with us all on it.
You know, they were a lot of fun, and if you weren't doing something stupid on it, they weren't really, to me, they weren't that much more dangerous than a 4-wheeler. But
Yeah.
you crank that wheel at full throttle, you know, you're going to flip it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just simple math.
Yeah.
And we did.
Yeah.
I mean, we all did once.
If you don't respect it, it's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
That's just.
And we used to have, you know, but we used to do the same thing in 4-wheelers. If, you know, you can easily yank the handlebars and. Yeah, but Larry, $1,500 that you probably paid back in 1972.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
No, I bought a
Yeah.
99 Ultra Classic, and I paid $5,000 for it. And then I got my 03 Ultra Classic because there were some problems with my 99, and I ended up being able to trade it in, and $10,000 for my 03. So
Yeah, right now you probably get more than $10,000 if you sold it.
well, I've got my 19 Road Glide. I paid $30 for it, but I know I can trade it in and get pretty close to $30 for it, which is ridiculous. They're offering super high trade-in values, but for the interest rate and everything, it just, when we did it, it made sense because we were looking at another used bike, but payment-wise and interest-wise, it was just like, it doesn't make sense to buy a used bike. You can buy a new bike, get the warranty and everything, all the stuff they were offering, you know.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that's the only bonus, somewhat bonus, if you happen to find the right bike, slightly a couple-year-old used bike that has all the accessories that you already want on. That'd be the only exception to the rule about just because of the way the market is right now. And you're right. And I was talking to Mr. McStash. I said, you didn't realize you get that Ultra Classic back up and running. You could sell the one you bought, probably make $10,000 on it.
Easily.
Considering what he paid for it.
Easily.
It's nicely equipped. I like the way his new bike is set up.
Yeah, easily. I mean, but that's the thing about it. Used bikes, what they're selling them at, they're selling new bikes at 28 and 30,000 when you get into the bigger baggers and stuff like that. At least around here they are.
Yeah, it's about like it up here.
You can buy a new one for a couple grand more and get a lower interest rate, lower payment, and all that stuff, and the warranty. So for us, that was a no-brainer,
Yeah.
unless you're looking for something that is, well, for instance, a buddy of mine just last year, he went and bought a Road King. We went to Arkport, New York, because around here for the teal and pearl white, they were wanting almost $20,000 for them used, and he got it for half that. We went up and picked it up and brought it back. He put a bunch of stuff on it, but I mean, he got what he wanted. You shop around, you can find something.
Yeah, and I kind of got lucky with the Dyna, even with the damage. Um, because I bought it with like 6,800 miles on it. I mean, it was ridiculously low.
Right.
And honestly, you could tell. Like, I went to change the brake fluid. It was totally disgusting. It had never been changed. Like, it never had a 10K service. You can tell. And the tires were, you can tell, were only the second set that had ever been on it. I want to say it was like 2007, 2009 was the age on it.
Good.
And so that's why the first thing I did when I bought it was take it and get new tires put on it. And apparently a Nashs biker said he got a pretty good offer on his Voyager bagger. I don't know. Like I said, sometimes it might be worth it.
Oh, they're just the way the numbers are in the market now. It's ridiculous. I don't understand how they're making any money at it. It has to show you how low the cost is for them to manufacture them. With what they're giving on used bikes, what they're selling used bikes for, and what they're selling new bikes for, they're making a killing. But
well, I mean, the way you end up having to look at it, they're probably still buying them, lower than obviously what they're selling them for, but they're probably making the same amount of profit on a used bike now than they do a new bike, where it used to be probably more than that. But yeah, the cost of a new bike to me is a little ridiculous. It's like the new, Lowrider S and ST. I can't justify the ST. You got 6 other baggers in that price range, and that's if you can get it at MSRP. That's the other problem. Some of these bikes are not selling for MSRPs.
no, they're way above.
I remember over the summer I saw the Pan America. I saw a dealer had $3,000 over sticker. Then they also had one of the revival bike. I saw that for like $5,000 over sticker, and it was already obviously more expensive. 68 shovel head. Oh, Larry cracks me up. He isn't just into the old stuff; he's into the real old stuff.
I got a friend. He lives across the way from me here. He's probably half a mile from me. He's got an old 50s panhead. I think 55 or 57. I could be wrong. But he's got an old panhead that has, that was back when they had permanent plates on them. So he went through a bunch to keep the original plate to have it registered and all that stuff. So,
yeah, I've been watching Bikes and Beards where they bought that World War II bike. It's got the race motor in it.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, I love the old stuff but I just don't like. I couldn't own something like that and not want to ride it, but in the same boat, I wouldn't want to ride it if I had a nice one anyway. I could never have a nice one.
I'll put it to you this way: I want to take something like that, and I got a brand new bike sitting in the garage. Not brand new; it's 2 years old, but new bike. Most money I spend on anything, but I'll get out and ride it in the rain. And just a week before I had surgery, I tried to get video of it, but it was cold out and battery died. Didn't get real good battery life. But come on, Dallas. Dog can open doors. But we go down dirt roads and everything else. We don't do it intentionally, but buddy of mine and myself, we were out riding, and it was like, hey, where's this road go? It was just a loop that we do all the time. He was like, oh no, been by it a million times, but never been down it. I was like, we're going. We ended up going down it. 20 minutes later, there was no road. like no road, and we ended up going down it. It wasn't even a dirt road, and we were on it for probably a mile and a half or so, and you never seen two guys on motorcycles happier in their lives to see a gravel road. And then to get out of that, we had to ride through a flooded farm. So, but if I had an older bike, like an older 50s Panhead or Knuckle or something like that, if there was a cloud in the sky, I wouldn't ride it. You know, and you know what that's like around this area because we're not that far apart.
No, we're not, and the weather sucks.
Yep.
6 months out of the year. That's why me and the wife have talked 4 or 5 more years. The kids, you know, I've got one kid who's out of high school. I got one that's about to graduate, and she's actually going to college. And we told them 4 or 5 more years. I said, we're done. We're moving away. I'm moving south somewhere where I can ride the motorcycle all but maybe 2 or 3 months of the year. So I'm kind of sick of this weather.
This first house we bought, and we're doing work to it, and I'm only doing it once. A lot of people have told me you'll go through, you'll fix stuff up, and then 10 years you'll do it again. Nope. Other than maybe changing paint on the walls, I'm not going through and remodeling my house 10 or 20 years from now.
I wish I could say that, but I can tell you, man, kids will tear up a house.
That's why, like the upstairs part, right now I have a tri-level. So right now we're working on the main floor, dining room, living room, and the front foyer. We're working on that right now. We'll get all that done up nice because the kids are primarily downstairs in the rec room or in their bedrooms. So I've got 10 more years with kids in the house. You know, as far as their rooms, we'll get rid of the carpet and put some flooring down and some paint on the walls. And then after they're gone, I can go in and paint them again and make offices out of them or something, you know. Or rooms for the dogs, because my dogs will probably outlive my wife and myself both. So.
Yeah, I wish I could say that. We in the last roughly 18 months, we lost our 2 dogs. The dog we have currently is actually my mother-in-law's, and the one that my wife referred to as the old man. We had him for, God, how long did we have him? At least 10 years, probably more like 15. Like I can't, and we got him from somebody else, so it wasn't like, you know, I had papers. I'm gonna say he was like 2008. I think I remember, if I remember the paperwork that I had. I think he was born in 2008, and he fit the grumpy old, like that was a grumpy dog, like towards the end of the years, but he ended up started having seizures one morning, and I'll be honest, it really hurt me, like watching my wife go through that and just sitting there holding him, and my wife, she wants another dog so bad, and I'm like, no, I'm not ready for another one. Partly, my other problem is that the other dog we have that belongs to her mom has horrible bad habits, and I don't want to I don't want to bring another animal in the house and have that dog do the same bad habits.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. McNash.
Surprisingly, we got a boxer, beagle, basset hound, pit bull mix, and we got her when she was 6 weeks old, and she was actually fairly easy to housebreak. And then a couple years after that, my wife saw a blue tick at the animal shelter down in Marshall County that she wanted, so we went ahead and got him, and he's fixed and everything. But we didn't know it when we got him. He has seizures from time to time.
Mm.
And, you know, we've taken him to the vet over it and stuff like that. And it's just, I want to say he probably has one about once a month. So, but he's a good dog, but for a blue tick, he's a little retarded.
Yeah.
He's scared of everything.
I've had a few like that. As a kid, I had a pair of Razorback dogs, and a lot of people know what they are, but they're an African hunting lion dog. And they're very distinct because they're usually like a very like rust red, and they've got like almost like this mohawk that goes up their back, goes up their spine. And I had a brother and a sister, and the female, she was sharp as a nail. I mean, she was very protective of me and my brother. You know, she did every, you know, she would never leave the yard. She listened exactly what you told her to do. You know, she did the sit, roll over, all that stuff. But her brother, that dog was dumber than a box of rocks. I mean, he wouldn't listen for nothing. He would never settle down. Like he ended up being the outside one. And where we lived was right next to a big old cornfield. And all of a sudden one day we start seeing him. He's walking around with something in his mouth, and it wasn't small either. And my stepdad goes out there and he's prancing around with a rat that's like this, like the body is this big. And it didn't end up just being one. Like he did multiple over the course of like a year. And he was also one of those dogs, like he was so strong. I mean, we had logging chain literally at the end, and he was still snapping that. And he ended up getting loose and ended up getting hit. But the female, she ended up, we had a Cocker Spaniel too. She got pregnant by the Cocker Spaniel. Nobody knows how that happened. And one of the puppies, and I wish my mom never gotten rid of this dog, but imagine a rust red, curly haired Cocker Spaniel. And
That would be weird.
it was very weird, but he was absolutely gorgeous. Like, I loved the way this dog looked. And at the time we ended up moving, and we ended up having to get rid of all the dogs because where we were moving didn't allow pets because we were moving closer to town. And he ended up going to a very nice old lady, but we ended up losing touch with her. And yeah, I've had all kinds of, like, I've had labs, and I think the only thing I really haven't had is a German Shepherd and what's the breed Lassie is?
A collie?
Collie. I've never had a collie, but I've had all kinds of mixed breeds and pit bulls, and I haven't had a pug. That's another one I haven't had. But yeah, I love dogs. Dogs are my favorite. I mean, I tolerate cats; they're okay, but they're
I can't
assholes.
stand cats.
But and it's funny because I have a pair of brothers. We got them from the same litter, and I have an orange one and a gray one. So it's Garfield and Smokey. And Garfield is literally the epiphany of the character. Like, he's a total asshole. He he'll let you pet him until he's done with you. Then he'll bite you. He literally lays on my wife's chest. I mean, he's exactly the namesake. And Smokey, he's the lovable one. You can pick him up. He doesn't really care. Like, he just enjoys the attention. So, but yeah, like I said, I do love animals, but I'm just not ready to buy. I'm not ready to get another one. I'm just not there yet. Like I said, after losing two of them pretty close back to back, it's just too much.
Well, the other thing is, like, the wife and I, we like to do motorcycle trips, where we go out for like 10 days or something like that. So you take that into consideration. You got pets, then you got to find a place, or find somebody to keep them for that time. And that's why we don't go out every single summer on a big 10-day vacation, because we've got pets and kids and everything else, So, but
yeah, and that's part of my thought too. And like I said, the whole plan to move in 5 years or whatever. And
get your geezer glide, you'll forget about pets.
Trust me, it felt so good on Saturday. I've been towards the end of the season. I'll be honest, I was a little depressed. I was just having kind of that round of bad luck after bad luck with that bike, and I almost got to the point where I didn't want to ride it. Like, towards the end of the last season, and it was right after that whole riding with Mr. Stash on the Triple Nickel where I met you. So I went home, found, no big deal. And then it was the following week or the weekend after was second VAM, I think it was. And
Yeah.
I was going to go to it. I literally had the bike packed up. I was doing my pre-checks, checking the lights and everything as you should do before you, especially take a big trip. And the turn signal wasn't working, and the brake light was working kind of funny, and I got to looking up underneath the fender at the tire, and the tire had rubbed all the wiring right there in that fender well. So it took me about 4 hours of cutting and resplicing and heat shrink, and I literally soldered in new wire and all that.
I was gonna say you soldered the wire in, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it's soldered. It's got marine grade heat shrink on it with the the sealant in it. So yeah, it's all good. I definitely didn't spare no expense in that category. In fact, I found a place in California that sold replacement wiring piece that goes all the way from the tail light to the main harness. And I ordered it, and I have it put up on the shelf just in case that ever happens again. Because I told my wife, I said, if that ever happens again, there's not going to be enough there for me to patch it.
Right.
And
Can you take your back tire off yourself?
I could. I haven't, but I could. I've got the tools, and it wouldn't bother me to do it.
Because that'd be the easiest step, probably.
Yeah, I ended up going the other direction. I took the seat and the fender and all that stuff off.
Okay.
So I did it from that direction that time. Just because I knew I was going to have to take it in the house and pull it all apart. And so that was kind of the reason I did it that way. But yeah, I had that problem. And then there was something else. I was supposed to go to the 5 Dirty Bikers meetup. And the weather pretty much went to shit that weekend. And I'm like, I didn't feel like riding because it was 100% guaranteed it was going to rain. And I'm like, I just don't want to ride all weekend in the rain. So like I said, at that point, my mind was like, I just fixed this bike. I don't trust it. You know what I mean? I kind of went through those steps of depression, if you want to call it, when it came to the bike. And towards the end of the season, I did end up riding a little bit in October, but I definitely there towards the end of last season was pretty disappointed with it just because of what happened. But it wasn't really the bike's fault. It was really all my fault.
I when I got back home from VAM, I dropped mine. I was back on it the next day. It is what it is. I mean,
yeah, like I said, it was just I guess just where my head was at that point. Probably was just not.
frustration.
Yeah, it was just that moment where I shouldn't have been riding. You know what I mean? My head wasn't clear. Like I said, I wasn't feeling it. But like I said, obviously once I put the bike away, it was like started getting the itch, and I'm like, started thinking about what I want to do to the bike. I have to get a new kickstand though. That's the one thing that right now is driving me bonkers. That purchase is going to happen probably sooner than later.
What's wrong with the kickstand?
The Dynas are kind of notorious, especially if you run your kind of the high suspension, not necessarily lifted, but just run them in high. The kickstands are too short, so it's pretty common to have to either put a lift block or get an extended kickstand for it to, where it really leans over when you put it on the kickstand. So that's something I'm gonna have to remedy. It's pretty scary sometimes when you lean it over. I have to make sure definitely I'm not in a rut of any type, because I would probably lay it down. But what's your plans hopefully for this season? Any big events besides maybe VAM?
The only thing I got going on is VAM, and I took on the assistant director position with the local hog chapter, so I'll be doing that, and flat track races up Port Royal the weekend before VAM, but that all depends on my elbows. Like I said, it was just something that I'd been fighting through for like the last 2 years, but it was hindering me too bad at work. So
Yeah,
yeah,
being a mechanic, I totally understand.
it got to a point to where there was stuff that I do daily that I wasn't able to do. And being at that time I was the only one in the shop, and I'd have to call the other shop and they'd have to send somebody up to give me a hand with it,
Right.
Then it was an inconvenience. It's not fair to them because they pay me really well, So it wasn't fair to them. So I just went ahead, talked to a doctor, scheduled it out far enough in advance so they could prep to get somebody in the shop to take care of things while I'm not there. Just take them off. I got the insurance and everything. I figure I might as well use it. And so that was a fun experience.
Yeah, I mean, nobody ever likes getting surgery. I mean, for many, many reasons.
I love it. I just don't like the downtime. I've had my back, both my feet, now my elbows. Okay. Now both my elbows, but physical therapy and all that stuff. I just like being able to, I don't know, push and challenge myself.
I've been fairly lucky. I've had some teeth removed. I've had my appendix removed, but I've never had like any major broken bones or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. I've banged myself up pretty bad. I've got both my knees I have problems with. I have damaged the disc in my lower back, so every now and then I got to go to a chiropractor and have it straightened out. I don't have a lot of cartilage left in. I think it's the number 4 or 5 L1, L4, L5 vertebrae.
I made it to 25 before I broke a bone. I never broke a bone in my body till I was 25, and then I broke my back, both my feet, and fractured my pelvic bone all at the same time.
What did you do?
We won't talk about that on the air.
Was there a lot of alcohol involved?
There was no alcohol involved.
Oh, that's probably even worse.
Yeah, there was no alcohol involved. I'll see you sometime over the summer, I'm sure, with McStash or something like that.
Okay.
McStash knows about it. He can tell you.
I'll have to ask him about that. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure McStash and myself had that conversation.
That'll be an interesting story. But all right, I think I'm gonna end the stream there.
Hey, thanks for inviting me in. This is the first time I've done this, so
yep.
I appreciate. You want to do it again sometime? Give me a shout. Like I said, I got all kind of downtime. Maybe we'll get together and come up with some topics or something to talk about. Try to make it fun.
Yep, sounds good. I've been meaning to do more of these live streams. It's just life gets in the way, and I try to jump on as many as I can. Usually, a lot of the guys do Friday or Saturday nights, and so I figured I'd do a Sunday since nobody did any this week. So.
Your Sunday, you might want to consider moving your time on, because a lot of people watch the live stream that Harley Day Rider and Bodine 52 and Bronco Ride do, the fireside chat with the boys.
Yeah, I usually try to catch that.
They do it every other Sunday now, so they won't be on next Sunday. So maybe alternate Sundays, with them or something like that.
Might have to do that.
Because I was watching that and I saw your thing come across Instagram, and I put a thing in their chat saying, hey, when everybody's done here, go over and check out my done life. Yeah, I appreciate
it.
I didn't know McStash would be in there, but if you want to do something like I said, message me on Instagram or something like that. Maybe we'll work on trying to promote it through there.
Yeah, I'll do that, especially if this becomes a regular thing. Or anytime I just decide I'm going to stream, I'll at least give you a buzz and let you know.
All right. Hey, I had fun with you, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Hope everybody enjoyed the stream. Hope everybody has a great day, has a great week, and we'll catch you later.